Yes. Hey, YouTube. Who's on down here? Who's on here? Go ahead and give me the thumbs up and say hey in the chat. All right, I'm gonna wait a few more minutes and see who comes on. All right, y'all, where y'all at? And who's the one person in here? I'll come back and see if any more come on. If not, I'm just gonna end the stream and just come back later. right, I'm just gonna be brief. So, anyway, I've been just sitting here watching YouTube, and suddenly it appeared about Bitcoin. So, I bought Bitcoin a few months ago, but I did initially I purchased it over a year ago, but then after that I saw it was so radical in terms of going down, up and down, and then at one point I just said, you know what? I didn't even have a one Bitcoin. It was less than a one Bitcoin. So I had sold it, and then I repurchased it again. And then I also bought some uranium. Okay, hey, two people. Who else is on here? Come ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please comment and subscribe. But go ahead in the chat, say hey so I know who's online. I want to make sure I'm getting new people watching, and maybe y'all just caught the topic. And but anyway, there's several people online talking about Bitcoin. And one person that I watched, it was the Minority Mindset. This Indian guy, lawyer, um, slash investor, but he doesn't really practice law. He just got a he just got his law degree. He's a lawyer, but he don't practice. You know, interesting. Most people, he Indian, and then you know how they are. They're very intelligent and smart, and most of the time their parents wanted to become doctors, and then he didn't, he didn't want to go to medical school, so he went became a lawyer, and then he's an investor. So he's on there talking about Bitcoin and how it's going and everything else. So hey, wait, three people now y'all jumped off. All right. So anyway, so last night, was it last night? It might have been last night or a couple of days ago. You know how no, it was this morning. It was early this morning. I was watching a video, and there was it was talking about black folks about going into the Bitcoin game and investing in Bitcoin and things of that nature. But this particular person who was on this person's show, how they said overall that most, particularly black people, were always late in the game and finding out about something. And usually when you enter any type of investment, hey, three people, go ahead and give me the thumbs up and say hi. Who's on here? Watching, lurking in the background. All right, y'all coming in here fierce now. I appreciate. Just make a comment. So I don't know. I feel like I'm talking to myself. It's not really good when you just seeing people watching you, but nobody's not interacting in the chat. So anyway, so anytime you hear something hot or big or people making money, hey Dorian, and you hear about it on YouTube, on the news, or whatever, usually it's too late. Now, I started investing in, I bought Bitcoin on the Cash App. You could buy some investments. And then I also bought Ethereum. I think I'm pronouncing it right, on Robinhood. Now, I did buy ETFs and other things like that. And, not big, not huge investments. I didn't take $10,000 and invest it. So I just started off small. So I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the future of money. coins, dollar bills, and things like that. But it's been a lot of steam picking up with big companies like Citibank and a lot of major banks. Maybe about 3-4 years ago, hey Romeo, um, people were very negative about Bitcoin, especially big companies and corporations, and they didn't really too much pay too much in mind about it. Now that was before the pandemic. After the pandemic, um, Citibank and a lot of major companies and a lot of nations across the world is starting to um, buy into the Bitcoin. And not just Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin, the blockchain, and all these other types of digital currency that's coming about. So, what we will see in the future, I would say maybe 10 years, maybe less. It may start to pick up steam, and people may be converting over to current digital currencies. Now, about a couple weeks ago, there was a company that started implementing the ATMs. I don't know about that. I ain't heard nothing about people paying no one to Bitcoin, so I don't know. Nobody has yet said, "Oh, we're going to pay people with Bitcoin." No, that's not even regulated in regards to payroll and everything else. So they're not going to. Nobody's not going to pay their employees do Bitcoin. Now you could buy Bitcoin for your own use, and who's going to accept it, but that's not nothing that's materializing yet. No, no. If the United States started, well, I don't can't speak about other countries because I'm not in other countries. So let's not talk about something that don't relate to people here in this chat, because there's no one in the United States and in most countries they're not paying employees through Bitcoin. So I don't know where that is. I haven't seen it. I haven't read anything about it, but that's not something that is not that's not been approved or implemented on any federal banking system or reserve. So now people or some places in the country, they said they're going to be accepting Bitcoin for making items and purchases and stuff, but that's not. These nuts don't even come on here and say anything because I don't even believe your words. So anyway, well, ain't nobody being paid by Bitcoin, and if they are, they truly. Anyway, they're truly not making any type of. Nobody's gonna be. I want to get paid by Bitcoin. Now that football player, wanted to make some type of um, get paid in Bitcoin and turn around, you lost all your money. Yeah, and you can make a statement, but at the same time, all right, these nuts, get off my channel. I'm not in. You can make a statement or make a comment, but it has to be relevant because there is nothing about other countries paying people with Bitcoin. That's, people come, you can make comments and you can make a comment and go in the chat and say things, but don't make, don't just come out with a outlandish type of comment that doesn't really make any sense. See, a lot of times people make comments and they want to, they make comments or they make a video and there's nothing back up the story or back up the claim. There's no companies here, United States, and in most countries pay in no payroll system. You don't have to be sorry. I just don't appreciate people coming on here talking about, well, you know it all and this and that or whatever. Just get the hell off my channel. These nuts. You want to make comments, you come over here, people just make, just throw off the whole conversation by just, making up a comment about whatever. There is no federal, there is no state laws nowhere in the United States about employees paying people in the form of Bitcoin. That doesn't even ponder to make any sense. Bitcoin and these current and digital currencies are not even backed by any type of federal system or anything else. Well, and I've heard about that, but that's not. Look at, you know what? I'm so sick of this crap. People don't even educate themselves. And just as I thought, as I looked at their website, they didn't mention nothing about paying anybody to know Bitcoin. They are a processing company and therefore they use MasterCard. You know what? Going forward, I'm not going to be having my chat open. And I'm not going to do these. I'm not going to do these streams. First of all, I've invested my time to share about my experience. But don't make. But if you're going to go by, don't go by what you hear and just come on and say something. because number one, it's not accurate, and two, it's amazing how some people want to voice opinions, but when I tell them, I say, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. So if anyone gets offended or whatever, that you can move on, because it ain't losing my sleep. I'm not losing any sleep. I'm not monetized, and I'm sitting here, make my point, make my opinion. But some of y'all make opinions, or not even opinions. It's not even an opinion. Y'all make comments and make it sound like it's something factual, and don't even really look into researching it. Y'all just want to get on and talk just to be talking about, and make these outlandish claims. I'm like, where y'all getting it from? Y'all go by what you hear and don't even don't even um really understand what you're reading. And then when I go and say, hold on, and I'll look it up, and I'm like, what are they talking about? There's nothing on here saying they pay anybody do some Bitcoin or whatever the case may be. That company was a processing center, processing service provider, just like I got a MasterCard, um, not even a credit card. I put money on the card, and I could use it and spend it anywhere where MasterCard is accepted. But that had nothing to do, that company, Torsen, has nothing to do. That company that you speaking of, see, you got to go deeper. Sometimes people need to start thinking, critical thinking skills, and to indulge in any type of conversation. Hey, Shelly Shell. I'm quite sure people are paid by Bitcoin, but here in United States, and a whole string of companies do not are not paying employees to no Bitcoin. See, people hear rumors and hear things, oh, um, Tesla's going to start accepting people to buy a car with Bitcoin. But yet, the man sold millions of dollars of his shares. I'm all right. I'm going to call you in a minute, Shelly. I need to ask you something. I'm not going to bring it up here. I would value people's opinions on here, but I need to ask you something. I'm going to ask you. So I'm going to call you in a few minutes. And then people want to know how they miss out on things. All I'm making the point is about, the about investing in Bitcoin, in the and what's happening in the world. You could lose all your money in 2 minutes investing in Bitcoin. There's nothing secure about it. It's nothing secure. There's nothing secure about silver, gold, stock market, anything of such. But that is not accepted everywhere and around the world. First of all, people trying to um, use it in a way to compact inflation, and they say, "Oh, let me put my money in. Let me buy Bitcoin." If you lost that computer, or you lose your phone, or your files or computer system gets corrupted and you buy into Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and all these other kind of coins, you know that you could actually lose what they say is worth millions of dollars. It'd be gone. It's a form of currency. Now, whether it's new, it's not really new. All I know is I ain't gonna, people, you gotta be foolish to think somebody gonna tell me, oh, we gonna pay you by Bitcoin. How does that make any sense? It's not accepted all over. It's not, you cannot, let me go to the store, let me go ahead and buy something with Bitcoin. Regular consumer goods and services is not even purchased with that. Yes, you see things popping up with ATMs and everything else, but that takes a matter of time. If you go back on YouTube, go back to the history of Bitcoin. And this was what? How many years ago was this now? Mm, over 10 years? Over 10 years ago. This Bitcoin came about or whatever. People don't even know people don't even know who invented it. They still trying to look for this Asian old man that, it's just ridiculous. And people started, that thing took a steamroll. If you did not enter it when they first started, if you go back, look at the film. There's some documentaries, there's some history about it. I watched it about a couple years ago. But in regards to people, in terms of physical or fiat money and everything else, mm-mm. The only reason they're gonna be entering in the realm, the federal government, world banks, um, monetary systems of around the world. They're gonna take when they get a hold of that and decide whatever they're gonna do. First of all, the United States and most countries, all it is, you could this walnut could be a damn currency. I could say, oops, I'm gonna buy my goods and services with walnuts. Yeah, anything is money. It's the value that people placed on it. If they decide in 10 years, and that's what's gonna happen, just like TV. At one point you could turn on the TV and look at channels. It was free to watch. And um, then the FCC decided, to deregulate um, cable, broke it up, whatever. Then they said, oh, they changed the technology from going from analog with television to digital. And then they said, okay, and they gave people 3 years or 4 years or whatever it was, I can't remember, to upgrade. So what they said, what happened was, remember those little rabbit ears? If you had the rabbit ears for your TV, and you could watch channel 2, 5, 11, whatever. Then the government gave these digital boxes. Like they said, oh, you could get a free black digital box because everybody was not going to get no cable. Everybody wasn't going to afford no cable. And they gave out these free boxes and you could put it on the TV and you could watch the local TV stations. if you didn't have cable, but you had a digital converter. So who knew? Who knew? Who knew that that was going to change? Everything changes. Everything is going to change, including this thing with money. Now, how is it going to change? Whether they're going to accept um, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and all these other kind of stuff, those things could go under just like that. Somebody, it was something somebody came up and had invested. Mhm. Yep, it was a few weeks ago. It had right on there in the news on CNN that someone bought some kind of coin thing or whatever. People come up with things all the time. It was a joke. I can't remember the name of this coin or whatever it was, but it was not meant to. It wasn't meant to come out as a digital coin. So people came up there and heard about it. Thousands of people heard about this, and then they went and bought into it, and turned around, the thing went under, and that was the end of that. I was like, see, I'm not on YouTube and be trying to make up. Oh, let me hear the story. I remember. Yeah, then they invented the smart TVs and everything else. So the little rabbit ears and the black box or whatever. Matter of fact, I got one in my damn garage. That's part of my decluttering process I'm supposed to be doing. That thing is sitting right in the garage with that digital TV antennas and all that. All that gone in the garbage. So I got to declutter. See, all I'm saying is at this point in the game, I bought some Bitcoin, not a whole lot, probably not even one Bitcoin, probably less than that. Then the market started going crazy a couple years ago. I said, "Oh no, I want my money back. Let me get my money back, along with the stocks that I sold at the time." And I was doing what, $50 a month, and I let that thing grow. Matter of fact, I need to find the tax papers for that because I need to file amend a return for those losses. It wasn't a whole lot, but shoot, it makes a big difference. Shoot, I'm not gonna, people be running around. China right now, big people falling out when that big bank real estate company couldn't pay their debts and stuff about a couple months ago, and people were going crazy. They invested all their money in that real estate firm, and it was not looking good. It was not. These people were not getting no stimulus. These people were not going to get bailed out or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Maybe the Chinese government came and poured more money so it won't affect the economy, because it was affecting their economy and worldwide. We are in a economic. It's beyond inflation, hyperinflation. We are in a doom situation when it comes to what's going on now. And please don't let me get on that mandate about the things, COVID and stuff, because people come on here, they want to come, they're going, all these little trolls, y'all gonna come on here. You ain't listening to nobody, you ain't got nothing to say, you think you know it or whatever. I know enough to say what you saying ain't making no sense. Now, Romeo, I know you probably say, okay, whatever. People say, let the man talk, let the man speak, let the man say his opinion or whatever. I no, but when I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. All I'm saying, stop. let's go on path of what we have to discuss. All the other things about, oh, um, this company, this, that, whatever. I was like, no, I live here in Atlanta and I read that story and I said, nope. They were offering a MasterCard. People fall for the okey doke. People easily fall for the okey doke. And let me tell you, if you read the history of Bitcoin, it's right there on YouTube. It is right there on YouTube. Let me tell you, it was not. It was those people. It had people in Brooklyn. I remember when they showed, people were going to jail in prison time. I don't know. I was like, dang, what did they do? And people, people were, because that's all it is. All it is if you simply write a code on the computer and and those people who came and talked about investing up the Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff. Even they had this one young guy. He was 20 something years old. You know, he said he was worth millions and millions, but that's on paper. And he moved it. Then he lived in China somewhere. Now what? Now what is the latest thing about China with Bitcoin? They're not even accepting it. It's not even acceptable. And they're not the only one. So many South American countries and stuff. And then it was like, oh, we're gonna buy 20 million of Bitcoin. They buying 20 millions of dollars of Bitcoin. Where does it go from here? We don't know. Will it go to, making people millions and riches and everything? Let me tell you, when the government, whether it be United States, China, Germany, wherever, when they start want to convert, when the dollar gets devalued and it ain't worth nothing, because it ain't really worth much not anymore anyway, because it's being pumped. They keep putting money out there. Trust me, the United States, they will they will make an announcement. They will give people about a 5-year period and say all these coins and nickels and dimes and these dollar bills, we're now going current. We're now going digital. And they probably doing it now. The United States and all these other countries, they will come up with their own digital currency. They're not gonna go with no Bitcoin and all that stuff. They're gonna create a US United States gonna have their own current digital currencies. Because right now, I'm gonna tell you, with the tax system, it asks you on the tax return. It said, "Have you sold or bought?" What is it gonna ask you? Let me see. Let me get the exact question. On the tax return, even this past tax return, it asked about your did you purchase Bitcoin, not Bitcoin, digital currency or something or whatever, and you have to say yes or no and answer the question. Now, I haven't spoken to a whole lot of customers who had purchased that or whatever the case may be, but that's just like the thing that's going to go now about if you had over $10,000 of transactions on um, PayPal, Cash App, whatever, that they report those transactions to the IRS. Anything besides payroll. So that's just a sign that they're gonna be now going after people who think they're going to take their money out and invest in Bitcoin or whatever and not pay anything with the taxes and hiding investments. So we have to be aware about what's going on. You do your transactions now on the internet. When you go to your bank and you do transactions, that's done through the internet. Bitcoin and all these current digital currencies is not a transaction that's on a internet. Those are digital currencies. That's code. Anything gonna happen. No form of money is gonna be protected. No forms of anything is gonna be protected. Your electricity go out and you sitting here with your computer and you say, oh, and that your system freezes or crash and whatever, or you do something and you don't know how to fix it. And I'm not talking about physically fixing it. I'm talking about you write a code or whatever. That's it. Hey, Brooklyn. See, I can't worry myself about, oh, the computer gonna get hacked. Da, da, da. People been doing that. People been hacking people systems, and they lost all that, and they lost so-called millions of dollars with the Bitcoin. That's already happened. That has already happened. I'm doing fine. I just got a couple people here. They want to get all in their feelings because and trying to call people out. They're like, you think you know it all? And then you let the man speak. Whatever. Romeo, no, Romeo, you know how I am. I could be very opinionated. And if something is said kind of crazy or don't make sense, I'm going to call it out. But ain't nobody, why are people getting all up in their little feelings over something? You ask people for your opinion, and when they try to say something, you know, and you don't let them talk, and you don't need to, you know what? There's a whole lot of things said way worse than what I've said over some topic. I'm not worth no millions in Bitcoin, and I'm quite sure any of y'all ain't got no money in investments. I'm just giving my opinion, and I'm giving you what's been the topics going on the internet. I don't know what's gonna. I don't. To be honest, I don't know what's gonna happen. I know one thing. You know, me buying less than one Bitcoin, 0.00 whatever, and bought Ethereum for $25 or whatever. I'm like, okay, let's see where this go. I've gained my little $25, $30, buy it for $25, and then it's up $5. We'll see what happens. But like I said, people, governments, they'll get into the game. They'll get into the game. They will get into the game soon enough. I just know one thing. If you don't understand something, don't be putting your money into something you don't know. And don't go by what you hear on um, something on the news. And I was like, because people or companies, they're not actually investing in the Bitcoin. They just want to be the what's the word I'm looking for? Transaction, the middle person. They just want to be the middle person, because so when they start regulating and they start implementing Bank of America and Citibank and all these other banks and companies and financial firms, they'll be right there. They'll be right there to market it, be right there to make millions and millions of dollars, regardless if it's inflation or not, regardless how the economy is running or not. When it's all said and done, this time now, the way the season that we're in, with all these gas prices and everything going up and people, less pay and everything going on, people like Elon Musk and Bezos and all these billionaires and some millionaires or whatever, they're gonna be making their money. They're gonna be making money. They make money. They make money during a downturn when everybody's like, "Oh my God, oh my God, he's struggling. Oh my God." That's when most of those people make money. Shoo. I said, you know what? Let them keep talking about, oh, the stock market is fake. It's supposed to have been about 30,000 points down. Man, all those companies on the exchange, whether it be the New York Stock Exchange or on the whatever exchange itself. What is this? Or whatever else, the more prices going up, the more we have to go out there and spend money and pay high prices. Tyson Chicken, they making money on bacon and everything going up price. Cars, the price. See, if I turn around, I'm so glad I bought my vehicle last year when I bought it. It was almost a year since I bought my vehicle. I'm so glad I bought it. When I bought it, they couldn't even get rid of those. Um they couldn't even sell a used car. They would keep you there for hours just to sell you a vehicle. And boy, did I glad I bought I bought my Nissan Rogue when I bought it. It was, even it was certified used. It had less than 10,000 miles. And I initially came in and was going to get a 2019. And the 2020 was cheaper than the 2019. I was like, man, it's cheaper than what the previous year that you showed me the night before. I am so glad I bought it then because now the price went up 20 something percent. So that means that if I wanted to, if I wanted to take that Nissan and go to the dealership, I would break even, if not make money from it. I really would. I would not because one, it ain't got no, it don't have any. Mm, Let me mind. Let me get the car. It ain't got that many miles on that car. Matter of fact, I'm taking the car tomorrow to get the oil change since I have a winter break from the generation. Get my oil change tomorrow with my little 1995 coupon. No, actually, they owe me a free oil change, so that'll be the free oil change. But I'm gonna take the coupon just in case they act all crazy. But it's amazing what could go on in a year. But I could tell you, I'm gonna tell you right now, all the changes, all the things that's going on, the trending topics. I haven't even looked and see what the price of the Bitcoin was. Let me look and see. Check my phone. Let me tell y'all. Because every time I look at my Cash App account and the Robinhood, when the stocks are down, Bitcoin is up. When the Bitcoin is down, the stock market is up. Sometimes it be up together. Well, you don't have to know a whole lot, but I don't know a whole lot about I don't know a whole lot about Bitcoin. I just know that it's a digital currency, and I just buy a little bit. Just I just buy whatever I could afford. If it's $25, I say okay, that's it. I'll buy $25. But other than that, mm-mm. Hey, what's this? Oh, I know what this is. Never mind. Let me see. Robin Hood. Let me see what Robin Hood talking about. You can get more crypto for your cash. Trade coins with zero commission fees from Robinhood Crypto. Nope. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's new, but it's not that new. Okay, so let me tell you, Brooklyn, let me tell you. So I bought Ethereum Classic, right? For 0.171211. It's up 1.55%. Uh-oh. It's at $50.96. Now there's different coins, Dogecoin, Litcoin. See, there's all these things coming up. Bitcoin 59,272. Bitcoin Cash 581, $162.30 for Bitcoin SV. See, that's what I'm telling y'all. See, that's what I'm saying. And I'm especially saying this for Romeo. That's why I said there's too many different digital coins out there. It's not regulated by nobody. And if you in a country, not here in the United States, I don't care what anyone say, that's incorrect. Ain't no company in Atlanta is doing no payroll, and paying employees through no Bitcoin. That company in Atlanta, that what's the name talking about? I even looked it up. I mean, went over there, went on the website. They were thinking about offering it. I remember that story. I remember when they first came out and they first talked about it. They have yet to do that. They was in the process of thinking about doing something like that 2 years ago. And now the only thing they offer now, like I said, they offer the MasterCard. You get the MasterCard, and say someone wants to, and they pay the employees, they'll put it on that MasterCard, and they could just use the MasterCard and they'll go and buy anywhere where MasterCard is accepted. That I do know. But the thing about the Bitcoin and all that stuff, that thing came to a screeching halt. Nope. There was too many things going on um, with Bitcoin and everything, especially um, if you look at that film, History of Bitcoin, and that documentaries. What's this? It spoke about that. See, don't see, you can't fall for the okey doke. Then some people, I hate to say it, there's some black folks, they come up in here on somebody's channel. I don't know. This is a big YouTube channel, and he earn your living or whatever. I mean, it's like people just make up YouTube channels and earn your living. You could um you could get you could go and make some investments and blah 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 and this and that whatever. And I mean, they just yappity yap talking about nothing. I'm like, okay, so we jump on the bandwagon after the fact. Bitcoin is almost, like I said, Bitcoin is almost 52,000 something, you know. I could even buy one Bitcoin. I ain't got no, ain't nobody spending no 50 something $1,000 on no Bitcoin. See, that's late in the game. I bought Ethereum and some of the other ones. It's like $25, where it is now. People are hoping that those things will escalate like Bitcoin did. Bitcoin been out for over 10 years. Bitcoin ain't just this Bitcoin ain't new. It's new to us because we always came in after the fact. After the fact, that's when we hear about it, when black folks hear about it, and they start talking about it, man, we always be late for the show. And I hate the stereotype. CP time. We be CP time for everything. CP time coming up to going. CP time for anywhere, any place. Late. We all be late in the game. And I ain't saying we the only ones. There's some other people too. But when you start seeing these channels on YouTube, Earn Your Leisure, and people talking about investing, oh, we going to investment property and we're gonna do this. It's always it's always late. I'm like, well, you invest in Bitcoin and you could do this. It is too late. It's too late. Now I don't even know how they even came about it. All this how did it even came about it? How would one know of these opportunities? We don't know. You just have to do your own research. Do your own research. Um, Understand your risk. Are you willing to, if you lose $10,000, are you going to be all right? Some people can't afford to lose that. They go crazy. Oh my God, I lost 10,000. Ooh, some people lose $1,000. They go crazy. But everything is a risk. My 401k, thrift plan, and everything else, that's a risk. But the point is, can you withstand the storm? And right now, we're gonna be entering a storm. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I know I said this over a year ago. Before that thing pandemic, I said we were gonna be in a recession. I said that before the pandemic. The pandemic didn't cause this big old recession and all that kind of stuff. It was already gonna happen. It just exposed it more. And it added on. It added on those bottlenecks of the shipment and stuff. It just added on. But it's always going to happen. I remember, 2008, 2009. That was the last economic downturn. I remember that. I bought a house during the recession. You know, I know people who have lost their house during the recession. The man who had this house, the black man who had this house, worked executive for Kraft. I never met him, never knew him. Always seen his name, Yancey. The neighbors next door, they was like, yeah, he used to live here, and this house was a squalor. They said that they came in the house, it was like, they said it was garbage. I mean, it had to have been squalor or something. I don't know. Maybe that's why I'm getting these negative vibes when I be staying here. Maybe I need to walk through my house with some sage, you know. And I was like, God forbid, I don't never want to get to that stage. I'll never want that to happen to me. I will never wish that on nobody. But we're about to enter a um a storm, and we just have to weather the storm. But let me tell you, this is also a time millionaires, investors, whomever make their money. People make more money during a depression or recession than anything else. And don't be quick to pull the trigger. Don't be quick to, oh, let me go ahead. Let me let me pull the trigger. Oh no, I gotta get rid of all my stuff. Nope. Thurston, you back. You mad at me? I thought you said you gone. Y'all get on there and they mad at people and be like, I'm leaving. You don't listen to me. I ain't. This is a serious matter. This is a very serious matter. I'm gonna tell y'all, we gotta buckle down. We gotta do whatever. Oh, seeing if I moved on. Did I move on? Wait for your response because there's a delay. What do you mean? What's the point? The point is that we going in a storm and we need to buckle down and make sure we do our due diligence, making sure we cut on these unnecessary expenses. Um, make sure that we don't follow no crazy trend of whatever comes out because usually it's too late. That's the point. That's the point. You know, I'm saying it's too late to try to go into something in the early stage of buying or investing in Bitcoin to make millions of dollars. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying is that if you wanted to make, you can't make no big time millions now. Now, if you've done it 10, 11 years ago when they first came about and you invested it and you hold on to it, then you probably would have been worth some money. I don't know. Well, yeah, but it depends what it is. All I'm saying is that I only do things that I know that make sense. And all I know is it's not gonna be the same. It ain't gonna be the same. I'm telling you. See, these governments and stuff all over the world, they just rubbing their hand, waiting. They developing things right now. They developing it right now. They say, okay, we're gonna create this and testing it out, and they ain't telling nobody nothing. But then when they ready to roll it out, that's when they're gonna roll it out. Well, I'm looking at it like this. I'm a bit diversify and put a little bit of things here and there. And if I make a couple $100 on it, then that's fine. You know, I downloaded the Fundrise app the other day, and I was gonna and it came up a property right there in South Carolina, in Charleston somewhere. They wanted to build apartments or something like that. Was it in Charleston, South Carolina, or Dallas? It was somewhere, and I was like, "What? They paying 12%?" Oh, Bitcoin cost me nothing years ago when it was being earned in traffic exchanges, and people were hoping that it would. Become something. I have a few, and it took years to earn it. But see, that's good. That's what I'm talking about. You invested it years ago. Now you got a full Bitcoin. But look how long it took. Look how long it took to get that. Look how long it took to get that. It takes a long time. Now there's other coins out there. The one I looked at when I looked at my Robinhood app, there was some other apps that's new. Hmm. Well, you know why I have to be more straight, just talk straight from the hip, because I'm somewhat like a passive aggressive, I guess you could say. And I always have, you always, I do my work. I do everything, whatever. And then people always want to talk cross eyed and cross talk crazy. And I don't say nothing to nobody, not one thing. So I say, you know what? Maybe it's a protection neck, a protection. Uh, maybe it takes me time to protect, because I try to be nice with people and be like, oh, and don't say nothing, and then people always try to treat me like I'm a fool. So if I come off like that in a certain way, I apologize. But and especially lately, I went to work. Let me tell you, I'm gonna get to the topic at work later in a minute. Well, I'm glad it took. I mean, it take a few years, but it's gonna cost. But it costs you its time. Yes, that is true. But just like anything else, if you invest now, and it may be a little low. You may be like, oh my God, that's why I don't be trying to look at my Robinhood app and my other financial statements and stuff. Because if I look at it, I say, oh my God, I lost $6,000 in my thrift plan, and get all crazy. And then the thing was based on a couple of quarters ago. And then months later, it'll go right back up. I'm trying not to get upset. The same thing could be said of these insensitive, not insensitive, what's the word? Drama queens, men that be all up in their field. I'm leaving. Let me take my ball and go back to home. They could, mm-mm. And where's my loyal friend Colas? He's usually on here. He needs to balance out this chat, because this chat is getting very unbalanced. All right, I've been on here for an hour, so who is he? I'm just gonna wait a few minutes because he said I'm gonna wait for your answer. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple more minutes, and then I don't see when you say he. All right, well I'm gonna move on. But anyway, so I have less than a month before I go back to work, and once I figure out this dang verification of employment, I will be also. I think I'm gonna take that. I think I'm gonna continue to work with Maximus with that Department of Education. Um, Unless something bigger comes along, then I won't do it. But I don't know. For some reason, I think it's going to be a cold winter because it's been real cold in the morning. It's been real cold lately. I'm like, I turned on my heat. I keep it running, not all day, but I said, shoot, I turned that thing off because I don't want to keep it running because I don't want no surprise bill or what that gas bill will be. But ugh, I know it's going up though, but it's not because of my usage. My usage is pretty consistent. So I was like, how could something be, but it's almost time for me to renew my contract with Georgia Power, but they're going to have to, I don't know. They usually get these things in the mail about, oh, switch with us. You can save on your gas at BTUs, and I ain't even seen any. But I'm hoping that Walton EMC, where I got my electricity from, I may consolidate and get both at the same time and not have all these separate one for gas bill and one for the electric. you know I might have to see who's gonna have a better rate. But I had wished they had offered a 2-year contract when it was infinite gas. Then I would have been locked into a contract at a lower rate. Well, must be, I don't know. There's a difference between being sensitive and there's a difference between um, just coming out, just telling me what to do about, well, you ain't got to do this, you ain't got to do, mm-mm. If he's sensitive, then that's his problem. People ain't got, people don't, I don't have to, people always, let me tell you something. And I know this is a whole different topic, but for some reason, lately, that I'm starting to notice, a lot of these men, they seem like you got to prove to them, um, hey, Lillian, it seems like they want to, oh, you got to prove this, you got to prove this to them to prove that or whatever. I don't got, people don't have no game, people don't have no time for no games. You express that you like someone, but then you don't even take um, an initiative to even come up to yourself. I'm not going to chase no man. Now I'm not a biblical person or whatever, but no woman ain't supposed to be chasing no man or being thirsty. And it's like if you don't show all that ex, ex, affection, then, well, I'm not gonna, it's always conditions. I don't like conditions. Don't put conditions and stipulations on me like, oh, if you don't do this, if you don't act this and way this, I ain't gonna be this and I ain't gonna be, you're gonna be waiting a long time. You're gonna be waiting a long time. If you're interested in me or whatever the case or whatever form of fashion, come out and do that. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Because in all my lives and things at this time of age, I take things what people say with a grain of salt because especially after the incident with that damn Tyson. You always gotta, who I'm talking about? These nuts. You can't be saying, well, I'm interested in you and this and that or whatever. And then then you come on here and then you like, you better be nice to me, or you better be this to me, or you better be, or I'm not going to. Okay. See, I can't, I have to be real cautious these days, especially on the internet. All these people, you see, on news, black folks at that, killing each other, murder, suicide, or some woman they dated, some guy, or not even dated, met someone and shot them. I mean, it's too many it's too many crazy stuff going on in the world. You know, you break up with me, I'll kill you. Ooh, if you don't be with me, nope. Mm-mm. When you show these signs, it's not always obvious. It's certain things that I sit back and I say, you know what? Let me sit back and see. And then if you say certain things, or I get this vibe and I don't feel comfortable, mm-mm, nope. Let me tell you, I've been stalked. I've been stalked before. Let me tell you, I was to work for this company, and it was this other guy, and it was something about him. He would always be coming up there and not bothering me, but real stalkish. And he would never say anything, real kind of quiet, kind of like, and I like you. This okay, all right. You try to talk with people. I talk with chit chat or whatever. I don't leave nobody on. Trust me. And I don't know. One time when I was taking a bus, I get off the bus. I don't know how I don't know how he knew where I was or whatever. Yeah, it is. And I get off the bus, and the guy, he's standing at the end of the corner in the dark. It was dark. And he's standing there. I'm like, what the hell? I go home, I get off the bus, you at the end of my block. You don't even live around there or nothing. And he was stuck. I don't even know how he knew where I lived or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Somehow or another, and I used to have to walk around when I used to get up. This is when I first moved to Atlanta too. And at that point, I started carrying a pocket knife right in my pocket. It was like not no little one either. And I would, when I lived in New York, stuff I used to go to Brooklyn and lived in Brooklyn, and I would be walking to Prospect Park and walking home at night, all these areas. Mm-mm. And no, this person we worked right up together. I think it was Riches or whatever. And he wasn't no outgoing person. I don't know if he was shy or whatever the case may be. And it was something about him. I just couldn't really put my finger on it, but he was just stalking me. And the whole thing, I don't know how the whole thing, I think the whole thing started was I was taking the bus, he get on the bus. And I guess when I got off, and when I got off, I guess he must have seen where, he must have knew where I got off at. So he was like, okay. And then he would just, yep, believe women should chase after a man, but a lot of men, once they nope, you ain't gonna show my emotions. Because trust me, I've gone through emotions, going after, not even going after. Nope. Mm-mm. I ain't never been no thirsty for no man like that. And trust me, I've been burned too many times. You give people the benefit of the doubt. You try to be nice. You try to be, whatever. They ain't lead nobody on. on, and then they just, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know what's wrong with men these days. It ain't that damn complicated. If you interested in someone, you come to someone, you say, hey, how you doing? Da da da. Blah blah blah. All that. I gotta prove you gotta see this first and you gotta do that first. I'm almost transparent. I am very transparent on my channel. Only people I really know on here, I probably know two or three of y'all for well, maybe no more than that. One, two, three, four. Five of y'all I know. I've either talked to you on the phone a couple of times, I talked to y'all enough, and I know, but some people, I don't know. Some of y'all don't even put no, y'all don't even put a real picture on your face. How would I know? Some people I could know, I could know about people. Some people, y'all don't, I don't know nothing about, I don't know nothing about y'all to no extent. Nobody ain't trying. There's very few people on here that I talk to on a regular basis that I know who they are. They know me. They know how I am, and this and that or whatever. And they see that I'm the same person if you talk to on the phone, and I'll be the same person if you see me in person. There ain't no. It's something you so different now. I meet you in person. Mm-mm. Some people may say I may look different. They be thinking I'm not as. They think, oh, I'm not as tall as they thought. They thought, oh, I thought you was real short, but you real tall. But other than that, okay. Well, you have to let me know. Let me know. I mean, people make things so difficult. Even like, remember I tell y'all about my former coworker Giovanni. You know, I know him for years. Talked on the phone, this and that, or whatever. Then the last time we spoke, you know, I said, okay, well, we could take things slow and get to know each other. Then all of a sudden, out the blue, when I mentioned that, when I mentioned it, I'm talking on the phone one time, and either you hung up or not hung up, mad or whatever. Um, I'll call you back, and then you don't call back, and then I call you a couple of times, you don't call back at all. You know. Mm-mm. And then I unfollow him on Facebook. He ran for city council in the town he lives in. He got elected and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know what you were trying to do. Well, some of y'all know the reason because I mentioned it. Well, I mentioned it to one person, but I'm not gonna say it here. But other than that, and then what the last thing I got from that, well, this is what I got. And see, he's like a pastor, right? And I think he had mentioned about me to his little friends, and they was like, "Well, why you want to Why would you? He must have mentioned something, and then they must have said to him, "Why you want to? Why would you want to mention someone like that or whatever?" I guess because, mm, probably so. And then he gonna tell me um, what some other people said. These people I don't even know, and if I do know, I probably know of them. What? I didn't know that. What? No, you changed your name. Well, I should have picked it up when Shelly Shell called you Jeremy. So I didn't know why I didn't put two and two together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I know he went through this weight loss surgery. I know he did that weight loss surgery and stuff. So, but there's other things behind him that I've not told no one. I'm not going to really say it here. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it right here, right now. Well, I'm not going to say it because I'm. Hey, Lady TH. But let me tell you about him. One thing I did not like about my former coworker who was so interested in me was that he will always be like, um, well, how you keep your hair now? And this is way before I cut my hair and then it grew out all wild like this. He will always ask me, well, how your hair looking? How and always trying to make something, always trying to put me in some kind of way to be. Now, I'm not no person who just love to wear t-shirts and things like that and be looking all crazy and stuff. Cause I could see he always would try to want some high, he always wants some high maintenance kind of woman, right? But I'm saying, why you want me to be so high maintenance? You're not really that high maintenance himself. He wasn't really no high maintenance. I'm not talking because he was a big dude and stuff, you know? And I know I clean up very well. I could put on a nice outfit dress. I could go and get my hair pressed out and be and and put a little bit of makeup or hardly none. And people be like, "Oh my god, oh my god," and they be all gushing and gushing, right? I don't like people be gushing over me. That makes me very uncomfortable because it makes me feel like, okay, so you didn't like how I looked before, but then when I put on a little bit of makeup and my hair is long. And my natural hair is long. I don't wear weave and stuff. And I, put on a real nice outfit and put real. Then people want to go crazy. They want to go. Oh my, it makes it seem like, well, damn, you didn't like me what I looked before. I'm not no bum on the street. I'm not one of these women look like one of those haggard women on Hoarders or one of these haggard women that need a makeover. Now I know I have to admit I know sometimes I'll walk out the house and I'll be like and I may be going somewhere and people say you should always look presentable because you never know what your future husband will come along with. That may be true. That may be true. You know, but if you're not coming out and presenting yourself in a certain kind of way, don't be putting that on women like they make it seem like they so, ooh, they so this, oh, they so that. Yeah, some guys are messy. And sometimes all that, I don't know where y'all getting your Kevin Samuels tips from. Y'all get y'all go and listen to somebody on some YouTube that want to downgrade black women and talk down to black women about they ain't keeping themselves up with this. They ain't keeping. First of all, that picture perfect, ooh, that youthful look, you ain't gonna be looking like that 10 years, 20 years from now. Some women age pretty well, but you know, but if you can't accept me when I'm in this part now, in this stage, if someone looks a certain way, you don't know what people's circumstances are. I know the reason why. I'm probably, I ain't been keeping myself up. I have to admit, my hair be looking crazy, and I went to the dentist to get my teeth cleaned, and she was like, "Girl, you said you're gonna cut all your hair, and you still," and she says, "Girl, you ain't combing this out." I ain't got mad at her because I knew. I walked right out the house with this big old fro. It was all puffed out like this, and I puffed it out or whatever. I can't. People say, "Why'd you comb it through?" First of all, I can't comb this through. It's it needs to be moisturized, and I've been trying to put some oil in it and stuff, but I need a deconditioner. I need to get cut. I'm trying to grow my hair out. I'm trying to grow it back, so I don't really want to cut my hair, but you know, it's in that in between stage when you're trying to let it grow and let it keep growing, but then it gets to that ugly stage. So I'll do something this week. I'm off. I don't have to take any classes and at Generation, and Thanksgiving is Thursday and I'm not going anywhere. So I do have to work later that night at 10:30 p.m. We supposed to come in. And as for Amazon, last night, I'll talk about it with Shelly Shell because I'm getting really pissed off because I went there to the Amcare. I told them I need to get my blood sugars checked, at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because I need to know what it is during that time of night when I start to feel it rising. This dumb motherfucking fool. I come in there, you take your medicine. First of all, you had all these people in the office. Half of them shouldn't even been in there. And I'm walking the door. I said, no. They look at me. What the hell you looking at me like that for? And then, he was like, you didn't take your medicine. I can't do I didn't ask you to do anything. All I wanted you to take my sugar level and that's it. That's all I wanted you to do. I didn't need the semantics. You just making excuses. You just make excuses. First of all, I had to, I'm not, you didn't even let nobody finish what they had to say. Don't tell me I'm making any excuses. If I'm taking this medication that was prescribed to me a month ago or a little bit over a month ago from the doctor, and I'm continually taking it, and it seems to not doing anything, and I have a doctor's appointment on the 30th, and I have a follow up. It's like a Zoom meeting with the forward. They finally came and took my blood work. Well, they said a contractor, so they're gonna go over my stats and stuff. The 24th, one day this week. I think it's on a Wednesday. So I gotta, they're gonna download all my stuff. I'm gonna be, they're supposed to give me this kit for biometrics. So I'm supposed to get this kit in a couple of days. I guess it'll come tomorrow in the mail, and then it'll run all these different numbers and everything. And then I'll ask them when I do speak to them on that damn computer with the doctor. I'm gonna ask them, can I come into the office physically because I need to see somebody. They offer weight management systems. They do. It's a whole bunch of things. But anyway, when I was at Amazon last night, you still take it's high. It's been high for days. Don't you think I know that? And then he gonna tell me to get out the office. He didn't even. I said my feet's hurting. Hold up. Well, I could put the chair outside and this. I was gonna throw that fucking chair right in that damn fat motherfucking face. I'm an EMT, and you could go, and people like you, we could go. I have to go over there at night, diabetic coma, and then, yappity yap. Shut the fuck up. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you all that semantics. And for him to be an EMT, his ass need to be, how the hell he an EMT? His big fat ass. You're not even healthy yourself. And I should have cursed him out because when I curse you out, I'm quitting. I'm sitting here in pain. Ask you to check my sugar level so I could know what it is at that time of night. You take your medicine? No, I didn't take my medicine. Did you bring your medicine? No, I didn't bring it. Don't you think I know that if I had to take for the neuropia for my feet and the prescription, that I'm not going to take it at work, working with machines, standing on ladders so I could fall off the ladder and be injured. I asked them to take the sugar level so I could either ask them if they gave me VTO for the remaining night. I worked up until 1 o'clock a.m. So they gave me the VTO. I went back upstairs after I had to walk a half a mile back to the station, up the stairs and all that kind of stuff. So they gave me the VTO and that's it. But I'm filing an EEO complaint because he act like somebody was bothering him to do your job. All they do in the office in AMT, whatever, all they do is sit there and talk and yappity yap talking about shit. People come in there with you know, one girl, she's sitting there in the chair with an ice bag on her foot. And why they not in the room where they got other things and people they gonna sit outside of the, all up and they all three of them with HR. You're not even at the HR desk. Y'all all up in the office. Yeah, and all up on each other. No mask. No reason to be in the office. Your job is in the other section next door. But people sitting there standing out there waiting for HR and you in the office. I asked you to do one little thing. Well, he wasn't nowhere empathetic. And that's what I hate about fucking black folks when they do certain things because they think they could talk to you in your kind of way. But see, did I curse you out? No. Did I talk belligerent? No. And maybe that's the reason why. Maybe I need to express myself and not hold it in and bottle it in because when I get on this YouTube and I'm talking about it, I'm getting angry. But trust and believe. I'm going to go up there in the morning during business. I said, I want to speak to HR director. I'm going to give him a chance. Talk to whoever. And if they don't do so that way, when I file my complaint, they can't say, well, did you speak to someone? Did you contact? Did you make it? Nope. I sure did. And then this dumb stupid ass black girl, she come up there. She was in the office. She was in there. Well, it's only, you could just give me some email. I said, well, is there a phone number? Is there a person who I could speak to? They ain't gave me no kind of information. So they could sit up in here when I make the complaint, they could collaborate their story. Yeah, he didn't say nothing to her. He asked about her condition and she was seen mad and they wouldn't be talking to y'all kind of crazy, that's for sure. Yes. They would not be talking all crazy. And the reason why I say that is because the other HR person, when I left Brazelton, the Asian guy, he says, yes, I understand. I apologize. He was very helpful. When I made the complaint against this so-called Kennedy, her name was Kennedy. When I first got there, I ain't losing my license. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't doing this. I'm supposed to be going home. So I reported to the HR what she said. They're like, oh, I apologize that happened. Why is it concerning? Why is it worried? Why you focus on about you supposed to be going home? You supposed to be, I ain't even supposed to be here. I didn't ask you to do anything. All I asked you to do was the glucose meter is, can you take my sugar level? And that's it. And sit in the office for 10 minutes so I could and sit there until my sugar drops down. I didn't expect them to do nothing. But they so focused on, I'm supposed to be going home. I ain't losing my license. I'm going home. I'm supposed to be, I'm supposed to get up at 4 a.m. I'm supposed to be off. That's the whole time. That's the other person at the other location. You so focused on, I'm supposed to be going home. I ain't supposed to be here. You tell me, where is it that is, tell me, where is that I'm wrong? Where is it that I'm wrong? Nope, all I want you to take my sugar level. I don't need you to be scolding at me. Why you ain't do it? Why you I don't see that's why I don't be going to people's house because they be in a coma and they don't do what they supposed to do. You making excuses. You didn't even hear anything. You didn't even let me say nothing else. I said to him, I said I tried to go to the emergency room. It was like a 6 hour, 7 hour wait. You would tell me they would have seen you right away. No, you wouldn't. How you gonna tell me? How you gonna sit there and tell me what I didn't do and didn't do? He ain't talk about go to Grady. He's like, you go down to the clinic at Grady. Grady. Anybody who lives in Atlanta knows goddamn well that Grady Clinic, it ain't nothing but a bunch of drug addicts and a bunch of bums and people with AIDS and all that stuff. They don't help people. They don't even help you at Grady. They don't even help you at Grady. Why the hell am I going to go to all the way downtown in Grady to do what? Talking about they would have went. You could have gone crazy. You could. I went to the last emergency room right there by Snellville. The man about that. One man said about how long to wait? 6 hours. He was there. He was waiting for 6 hours. I got there. If he was waiting for 6 hours and didn't even see it, I do have my own monitor. What does that have to do? What are you talking about? That has nothing to do. You know what? I don't need no one to tell me about what's my responsibility or whatever. Taking a blood sugar glucose thing that it got. I'm putting you in timeout because see, I never sit here tell yeah your responsibility. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't need no one to tell about what my responsibility is. What does that have to do with the tea in China? What does that have to do with the fact that taking a blood sugar level, so what? What is that going to do? First of all, you can't take nothing, you cannot take your blood sugar level on the floor at Amazon. I cannot stand there and poke my finger and do that at the same time. Number one, if you want to know. And number two, if I had to go down there and I needed to sit down and have my blood pressure checked as well and sit down until I feel a little bit better, don't tell me what my response. I know what my responsibility is. Ain't nobody asked nobody to treat nobody no way or nothing of the kind. I live 5 minutes away. If I didn't feel well and I have to go home, then I will go home and take whatever medication that I need to take. But I know what the medication and I know what it prescribed. I'm not going to take it and drive and go home, or I'm not going to take it and while I'm at work and climb up a ladder and fall or get sick or anything else because they're not responsible for anything that if I fall on that floor and says, "Well, what did she take?" and suddenly I get dizzy or something happened to me, and they don't know what's going on or whatever the case may be, all they're going to do is replace me with a whole nother person, and that's it. That's all that's going to be done. Sit there and say, you need to see your doctor. You need to go. You need to do that. I said, what do you want me to do? You want me to just go and just bust up in somebody's doctor's office with no appointment, with nobody seeing anybody? If that was the case, I would have been done that. You ain't got to do. You go to the emergency room. What you think I did? You make it all this. You sit up and I care about people. Well, if you care about people, I sure hate to see if you don't. Fat motherfucker. You have your big fat ass, and you don't even look like you. You're in the ambulance. Can you even fit in the ambulance so much trying to go to people? You know, people don't want to do their fucking job. And then they're like, they're heroes. Man, fuck y'all. Ain't no fucking heroes. Always trying to, people be, they don't care about nobody. They don't care about nobody. They act like they overworked and everything else. How many times I'm gonna go somewhere and I'm gonna be civil and then you're gonna act all crazy? Stupid ass. I was asking Papa, yeah, your responsibility. Like I don't you to him. Like I don't know that. Don't tell me what my responsibility is. All you doing is doing a one simple task. Taking it has nothing to do. If I ask someone to take, okay, if you got that type of service in the facility, a working facility, and somebody walked down there and said, "Can you take this? Because I need to know what it is," and then I could sit there and determine if they that I could go back and I say I cannot. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to drive myself home 5 minutes away from my house and go home. Sometimes people need. Sometimes y'all need to watch what y'all say or how y'all tell people things. I ain't just gonna come on here and risk right. It's your responsibility. First, you know what? First of all, I take more than just the gabapine, and I'm not. That's not the prescription that I need to be taking when it comes to my neuropathy in my feet. I'm not talking about from the gabapine falling out from that. I'm talking about from the other prescription that I do have to take. Thorston. So I don't know what you find is so fucking funny. I sure like to see what channel you made, and I sure like to see what you talk about, so I could get on there and drag you, because obviously I need to drag you. But don't talk about it, do it. You know what? I'm going. Y'all have a good night.